Today's guest has cracked the code of short-form content. At 15 years old, he made $500,000 a month from faceless Snapchat shows using his viral content formulas.
So there's 3 metrics that I like to look at to improve upon people's videos. Can you make the videos longer? Can you make them higher quality? And can you improve?
But just after he dropped out of high school, the platform banned his channels overnight, nearly leading him to give up on everything. Do you know what our biggest video was on Snapchat? It made 50 one time, 20 one time, and 10 another time, just reposting it.
Dude, we had a video that made us like 700.
Instead, he doubled down on his craft, perfecting videos on every platform and co-founding Creo, an AI tool that helps other creators master short-form content.
If you understand the fundamentals of how to go viral on social media, you can turn anything viral. I did it on Snapchat, I did it on YouTube Shorts, I did it on software, I did it on a personal brand, I've done it on Minecraft channels. People overcomplicate this way too much.
In this episode, we'll unveil the viral blueprint that's generated him billions of views, explore the psychological triggers that keep viewers hooked, and discuss how his next business is on track to overthrow Facebook. Do you think you guys are going to be bigger than Facebook? Daniel Baton, welcome to the Jack Neal Podcast.
I'm very happy to be here.
I know, man. Guys, Daniel and I have known each other since he was 15 years old. He's 18 now, right? You're about to turn 19 pretty soon?
I'm turning 19 in April, so in a while.
So Daniel, you just turned 18. How much money did you make last month?
So last month, we probably did over $2 million. We've closed just at the start of this month over 8 figures in deals. So I don't really want to mention exactly the numbers yet, but we're in the 7 figures a month right now across the companies.
How about you for yourself?
Personally, I probably did just under like $700,000 last month.
Just as far as like the 2 million number, like what are all the sources of revenue for you?
So they span across like 4 different sources of income. Number 1 would be my software company, Creo. Number 2 would be my course. Number 3 would be my YouTube Shorts channels. And then number 4 is content.
You know, how many followers do you think you've gained on social media?
Probably easily above 20 million followers. 90% of those, no one knows who those accounts are. All faceless. On my own brands, I've probably gotten around like 1 million followers across all my pages, but yeah, most of it is faceless.
So walk me through exactly like what the numbers are, like YouTube Shorts channels, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat shows. Like if you had to like dig into your memory, like where are all the followers from?
Yeah, so when I first started like really going crazy on social media at 15, the first time I ever got like a real amount of followers was when I started my first YouTube Shorts channel called Slam Dunk. We got that to 1 million subscribers in 6 months. That was kind of the first time that popularity started rising around YouTube Shorts and making faceless content around that platform. And we kind of just cracked the code there, started going really crazy on content that we were posting. And we were one of the fastest growing YouTube channels on YouTube Shorts at one point, gaining like over 50,000 subscribers a day. After that, we went over to Snapchat shows. Those were like 2 to 3 minute videos on the platform. And I think in around 6 months, we gained over 20 million followers. On just one of our pages, we had 9 million followers. And so we kind of understood a few different methods at the time on how to really rank for followers, because followers were really big on the platform and they would kind of push your videos as well. And so we optimized for followers and views. So that was the next platform. After that, I started more YouTube Shorts accounts. Across those, we've gotten to probably around another like 4 million subscribers. And then kind of one of the biggest ways we gained followers were through our promotional accounts under my software company, Creo.ai. So we would start faceless organic short form pages on Instagram, TikTok, and run them up to promote the company. Those pages just naturally have a few million followers just because of how many views we got that converted to our software. I'm not exactly sure of that number. And then after that, I then started my personal brand. On YouTube, I have almost 200,000 subscribers. On Instagram, across all my pages, I have roughly around 500,000 followers. And then on TikTok, across all my pages, I probably have another 500,000 followers.
It's really fascinating. So your old partner was Luke, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll dive into this a bit later, the whole Snapchat thing. I do want to talk about Shorts first, but I'm pretty sure that the way we met was you and your partner, another guy named and his partner, and then me and my partner, like all consistently like had the #1 shows on Snapchat like every single day. We were kind of just competing against each other. There was probably some other people we didn't know about, or maybe you know the names of them.
Dude, if I remember correctly, there was like a top 15 ranking for shows, and we owned like 15 as a group out of the 15 top shows. And
you
so
and
like,
Luke did?
Yeah, like for the top 10, we know that we owned like 7 out of the top 10. And then amongst you and then the other people that were in the group, they owned the rest. And so we genuinely had Snapchat in our hands at one point, and you couldn't go on the platform and not see our pages on the front page.
Yeah, that was an interesting time period. And I remember getting on a call with you for the first time, and you being like you were 15 and you were just telling me stuff that like I, as a content creator for like several years now, I was like, oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, I didn't realize that. I was like, this kid is smart. But yeah, I'm not surprised at the point that you've ended up in your career with the success you've had. So on social media, what's the single biggest misconception people have about going viral?
I think people think going viral is consistency, when I don't agree with that. I think a lot of people think that you have to be consistent, you have to post a lot of content, and there's a big misconception that that's what equates to virality. And although like that is a factor to it, I think people don't prioritize making genuinely good videos enough. And so I've kind of understood from running a ton of pages to a ton of different types of verticals. So like trying to promote a software company or trying to funnel to a program or whatever it may be, just trying to get views. Quality beats quantity, I think, pretty much every single time. And the reason I say this is a Mr. Beast philosophy. One really good video that takes a month to make can get you 50 million views versus 4 not as good videos that you output get to like 1 mil or 5 mil. And so I personally really prioritize quality on everything I do. And that's just always what I've been ingrained with pretty much every single channel I've ever ran. But you can have really good quality with really good quantity. You just need to be able to track and kind of crack that method. And that's by building a good team that can output the quality that you want at the amount of times you want to upload. But I think quality is a very big metric that a lot of people undermine. I get a lot of people coming to me and being like, yo, I've posted for the last 3-4 months. I haven't seen any results. It's because your videos are ass. Like your videos are ass, so you are not going to see results. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, focus on quality, and that's going to get you to where you want to be, whether it be views, converting to your product. Quantity is cool, but quantity without any quality behind it isn't going to get you anywhere.
I 100% agree with this. I guess my only pushback is when people say that quantity breeds quality. And as someone that's so young, I mean, you put a lot of reps in as far as editing people's content, but like, how are you able to just start with quality?
It's calculated. So you start without knowing anything. You don't know what you don't know. But a lot of people like to post and then not trying to improve on the videos that they're making and keep going at the same formula. That's the wrong way. You should post as much as you physically can, but learn from every single thing you put out. Track the metrics, look at the back end, look at the comments, try to figure out how to get better. Just posting and putting output is not going to get you anywhere. I put a lot of output out when I was 12, 13. I would edit for these creators and I started my own channels. The first like 4 channels I had completely flopped. And it's because I would try to post a lot, but I didn't really have any strategy behind what I was doing. Once I started like talking to more people who had more experience, and this is the biggest thing I did as a video editor, which I think was like a big reason as to why I started learning how to make really good videos. I would ask a lot of questions to my clients about how they would make the videos, because I was in charge of one section of creating the content, and that was just the post-production final part before it goes out to the public. But they would be in charge of the pre-production, figuring out the script, figuring out the concept, figuring out the thumbnails. And these are things that I would not really know anything about, but I would ask questions because I just knew trying to gain as much information before I started myself would be a really big edge versus everyone else. So to be honest with you, I definitely wasn't the best when I started posting, but I knew a lot more than the average person did before I put out my first video, just because I would ask so many questions to people who had track records of putting out quality videos and getting millions of views.
If you had to give like an action that you would recommend for someone starting a new channel, would it be along the lines of post 30 videos and try to learn from each one? Or would it be like take a course, study a YouTuber, put a lot of effort into 2 videos for 1 month? Like what would you do now?
This is what I would say. If we're talking about YouTube Shorts specifically, I would tell someone to post 1 video a day in a niche that they see someone else succeeding in. you want to take the person that you see succeeding and try to improve upon their videos. So there's 3 metrics that I like to look at to improve upon people's videos. Can you make the videos longer? Can you make them higher quality? And can you improve on the concepts? I think longer videos on YouTube Shorts really play a big role in how YouTube pushes them out. I see a lot of really good channels posting like 25 to 30 second videos, which is fine, but I've gone in and then gone to 45-second videos on the same concept. This gives that audience more time to watch content, which they want to do. They want to absorb more content that they actually like, and YouTube promote longer videos because they have more time to place your ads. And so post longer videos, improve on the quality of the videos, and it can be really small things. Like, I'll just give an example. There's channels out there that post commentary videos, pretty much slap Mr. Beast on the back of it and create a storyline around one of his like concepts or videos or whatnot. All of their subtitles are in white, okay? I would look at that and I would be like, okay, whenever I say like a word like hate or scam or like one of those impact words, I would make it red. I would just add any little inputs I could to a specific video to try to give the viewer more visually. And these are just things I think about when I try to copy a competitor that's doing well and try to replicate it for myself. And so sometimes it's not super obvious, but sometimes it is. If someone's making 30-second videos, try to make 45-second videos. If someone's quality clips are in 720p, but they're still getting millions of views, try to make yours in 1080p. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's always little things that you can improve upon, but those little things are going to give you that edge versus your competitor. And I think one of the biggest things is consistency. Like, if you post for 2 weeks and try to improve for 2 weeks, don't see results and then give up, where is that really going to get you, you know, versus trying for 2 months and really, really putting the effort into improving every single video. And so you post video on Monday, you check the stats of it on Tuesday, you see that people dropped off at the 30-second mark. You go back to your script, you see what you said in the 30-second mark. Why do people drop off here? Did I drag it on for too long? Did I give too much context? Did I not go in depth enough? Or did I not visually explain what I was talking about? Really psychoanalyze what's going on in your video and try to improve it next time. You might not have the answer, but at least trying to fix something that you think is wrong eventually is going to lead you to what you want to find out.
I think that's great advice about just finding little things that you can add. I think to go off of that, something I've noticed recently is that some people find things that you can remove,
yes.
Right? So a good example is I posted a podcast with Togi yesterday, and I made these really high quality clips, and there was a clip page on TikTok that just put like a little organic TikTok caption with no subtitles, and all those clips took off because it looked like something people would watch on TikTok, if that makes sense. So they actually removed stuff, which was kind of cool to see.
Yeah, I had a friend who does around like 500,000 a month on YouTube, long form basis channels. And he was just telling me this exact same thing. It was like, sometimes it's not about what you can add, it's about what you can remove, because a lot of people just add a lot into their videos thinking that it's going to benefit the viewer. But a lot of people like prioritize simplicity more. And especially on the internet with short attention spans, sometimes packing more things in can actually lead to like viewer confusion and them not knowing what's really going on. And so if you look at a lot of my content that I've put out, like even on my personal brand or on my pages, like maybe we pop up a video here or something, I'll send it to you after. I like to keep things simple, but very, very clear. Like, one of the biggest things that I talk to all the people in my program about, which like I think is the most important thing, is visually representing what you are talking about in your script. Because scripting can be amazing. You can have a really good script, really good hooks, a really good storyline. But if you're not visually representing what's going on, if you're talking about Andrew Tate or Mr. Beast grabbing a pencil, but then you show a video of him hugging someone, that is not going to visually represent what's going on. And a lot of people naturally do not think of that for some reason. They just slap clips behind a script and expect it to like get somewhere. You need to visually be representing what's going on. If you say something's going bad in the video, add a red tint, add like a sound effect. Audio and visual need to match what's going on in your script, because that's going to pretty much make the viewer not able to click away because they have to watch what's going on.
Have you ever heard the sentiment though that like you should show something that's kind of the opposite of like what's being spoken about? Like if it's like Mr. Beast got really upset, you wouldn't show him like frowning. You might show him like walking away, looking back. Or I'm trying to figure out how to explain this concept. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I get what you're talking about, but this is the way that I use what you're talking about. So when you show something that's the opposite of what you're saying in your script, it's for conversion tactics. And what I mean by this is like, I would purposefully mispronounce Mr. Beast's name, or I would purposefully make Mr. Beast smile when I said he was sad. And people would go to the comments and be like, why would you place that in the video? So that's the times I would do it, but that's not a constant that I use throughout the entire video. Those are just little parts I plant in for engagement.
What's one principle you apply to every video that almost guarantees performance?
I don't think there's one principle that can guarantee performance, but there's definitely principles that you can apply that give you the best chance of performance. And so one of the biggest things that I like to do in every single one of my videos that I think just gives me an edge is making sure that the storyline of the video is concrete. So I think scripting is genuinely 80% of the work. I think scripting a really good video is going to get you way further than your competition on the same niche who don't know how to script properly.
Hey, quick hack if you want to make money with faceless content or YouTube shorts. So say you want to write a script, but you don't have the time to read news pages or watch full TikTok and YouTube videos, you can simply use today's sponsor, Poppy AI. They speed up the process by letting you connect multiple pieces of content to an AI chatbot so you can find the most interesting parts and write scripts based off that. Plus, if you want to skip the work of perfectly writing out your videos, they have viral script templates that help you organize your research into proven formats that work. You can drag and drop videos, articles, even voice notes into the template, and it will generate ready-to-go viral content. My team already uses Poppy for all of our videos, so if you guys want to try it out, just go to getpoppy.ai/Jack Neal. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if your videos don't go more viral, it's completely free. Anyway, guys, back to the podcast.
And so like there's a bunch of fundamentals with scripting, like having a really good hook that gets the viewer to understand what the concept is about without revealing the payoff. And then you go into the second supporting hook, and then you go into the context of the video, you have a rehook. And so what a rehook is like, IShowSpeed hates Mr. Beast, right? Let me just give you an example. IShowSpeed hates Mr. Beast. Last week, IShowSpeed competed in a Mr. Beast tournament to win $10 million. And then you add context to what happened in the challenge. And you're like, but why would this make IShowSpeed hate Mr. Beast? And then you add that right before you give the payoff. And so these are just some basic scripting fundamentals, but I think scripting is genuinely one of the biggest things people need to start focusing on to make better videos. And I feel like not a lot of them do. They just find a really good concept, which intrinsically could go viral. It's a viral concept, but then they script it really badly and their videos don't get anywhere. And so I've always just put priority on making the script and the storyline really, really good in all of my videos, whether it be 20 seconds or 10 minutes.
Interesting. Yeah, something I noticed when I reviewed your scripts, when my partner and I were trying to break down like yours versus ours, was like, one, I think you were doing the voiceovers at the time, and it was like, or maybe there's some other channel where it was like a younger kid doing the voiceovers, and it was like, okay, well, Jack, your voice is too deep, like, and sounds too proper for kids to want to listen to. Like, it sounds like they're listening to like some science thing, but this sounds like just like your friend, you know? That was one thing. And then how do you think about like the language you use? I think really basic advice is write your scripts at a 5th grade reading level, but I believe that there's some more nuance to it. Like, there
is more nuance.
Tell me about that.
So the way your tonality speaks when you're reading your script is super important. So unlike words that you would mention in a script, you would need to increase the pitch of your voice or decrease it. And so now a lot of people voiceover with AI. I think a voiceover is genuinely super important to a script because, like you said, when you were analyzing our content and you were talking about how your voice might be a little too deep and you're making more relatively kids content, you know what I'm trying to say? And kids are going to relate to something that keeps them a bit more upbeat. And especially like 99% of the short form content you see online, whether it be to sell programs or whether it be to make entertaining videos, you need to kind of emphasize certain words in your script to drive a certain point to let people stay. And so let's say I were to go and be like, I just spent $10,000 on a brand new plane, but it broke on me the first day. Like, do you kind of see how my voice changes in certain areas? It gets more serious towards the end, or it gets more hyped up towards the beginning. And like, I feel like this is context clues. Like, it's pretty intuitive to do that, but I feel like people don't think about it and they kind of just read the script as if they were a robot. AI is getting pretty good at you being able to prompt it for tonality. And so when I make my scripts with AI using an AI voice, I regenerate it like 100 times before I get to what I want to do. And there's like this pretty cool tip that I kind of do every single time I write a video, and I will kind of prompt AI sentence by sentence, or even like 3 words by 3 words, because it gives me more customizability to kind of regenerate and change the tonality to how I see fit. When you kind of generate AI for a whole paragraph, it's going to do its own thing for like a set of 20 words. But if you kind of give it more of a tunnel to work in, it's not going to have as much space to mess up, and you can kind of regenerate in pockets.
I guess on the writing specifically, how do you choose what words to include? Like, do you just try to think of what words are the most easily accessible to everyone on the planet? Or is it we're targeting like 12 to 18-year-old boys? These are the words that they use. Let's write our script around that.
Well, what you said before about having your scripts be for a 5th grade level, that's like a pretty good standard that people should be following. So what I do, like pretty candidly, I'll put my scripts into like one of those like school websites that tells you what grade level your reading is or your writing is. And I'll always try to aim for like a 5th to 8th grade level, just because even a 5th to 8th grade level could apply to a 20-year-old. It could apply to a 19-year-old because the words are simple and they get the point across. I think overcomplicating your wording, especially in the beginning of your video, can drive a lot of people out. You want to really easily and accessibly get people into the door. Later on in the video, you can get a bit shifty and techie with the words. You can start using a bit more complicated if needed, but it's not necessarily something that you have to do. I think just keeping it as simple as possible is the best way, because a 20-year-old is going to be able to naturally lock into a video that has 8th grade wording. Someone who's in the 8th grade is not going to naturally be able to log into a video with college level writing. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Right. I guess what I'm thinking of here is, so a good viral example is like Baby Gronk just rizzed Livy Dunn.
Dude, that's a whole other level.
Is that good, or should it be like Baby Gronk has a crush on Livy Dunn? Like if you're optimizing for virality.
It depends what audience you're optimizing for. So like if you're making very specifically brain rot videos on TikTok towards people who love using this slang, Baby Gronk just riz Livy Dunn is going to do the best. But like what I would do for an audience that isn't necessarily too tapped into this type of stuff and doesn't maybe understand what riz Livy Dunn means, I would just be like, Baby Gronk has a massive crush on Livy Dunn, but she rejected him. Like, obviously that's an example. I wouldn't really write it like that. I would probably shift around the wording a little bit, but I always tend to like to use words that everybody could understand. Like, this is my theory. Sometimes it might work to not my benefit, and sometimes it works to my benefit, but it's like an overarching thing. Like, you do it for a long enough time, when these words go out of fashion, your videos can still blow up. So like on YouTube Shorts specifically, the biggest thing I love about YouTube Shorts is that a video can blow up 6 months after, 1 year after. I've had it happen so many times. My video gets 1 million views, it goes flat for 6 months, and then it gets another 2 million view spike. I think if you use words that cater to a certain time frame, that could potentially ruin that performance and ruin that ability to happen.
I like that. So you think in terms of evergreen, most views possible, and then sometimes most views possible within a niche, and you might cater based off that. Yeah. But that's more rare for the kind of channels you do. And then also something you do that's really interesting is just creating faceless content that makes sense without the subtitles, without the words. But you have a really successful channel that's like a 3D channel, I think.
Yeah.
Like what's the most views you've gotten on a video from that channel?
Our third video got 40 million views.
Yeah. How much money do you make with 40 million views on YouTube Shorts?
Roughly $8,000 to $10,000.
And like, how long did that video take you? Like, what kind of video was it? Tell me about it.
Yeah, so the video was why Asians have small eyes. And so
genius hook, by the way. Yeah. The
concept of the channel is to be a scientific, informative channel. But there was already a big guy in the niche called Zach D Films who makes massive 3D videos. He's everywhere on social media. So we were like, okay, for context, I started this channel just for a YouTube video. So I was like, I really want to make a video copying a YouTube channel that makes $100,000 a month and seeing if I can beat him. And I didn't make $100,000 a month with the channel, but I think I proved my point. So essentially, I was like, what is my edge going to be? What's going to make me different from someone like Zach D Films, who has great quality, a great team, outputs video every day? Let's be controversial. Let's go a bit against the grain and let's make just as good, if not a little bit better quality videos. And I think we actually did that. We didn't post as often. We didn't make videos every single day. We made one every 3 days, but we had a very controversial angle to our videos, which I think set us apart. So the video specifically you're talking about here, about why Asians have small eyes, we're like, okay, this is an intrinsically viral video. People are gonna like get mad at this. Some people are gonna find this funny, and some people are gonna be genuinely curious about the topic, because essentially the way we scripted it is not to make fun of anyone. We genuinely explain the science and the genetics as to why people in Asia have like different eyes to people in the West. And so what we decided to do is like, who is the biggest Asian figure that we can think of that would kind of make this hook and this visual intro the most insane thing that make people not want to click off. So we got a 3D model of Kim Jong-un and put him as a 3D head in the intro. And so the intro was basically him with a subscribe sign holding, and then the camera zooming out being like, why do Asians have such small eyes? And him blinking. And you can go to the video right now and see the comments. There are thousands of comments as to what the hell is Kim Jong-un doing in your video? What is Kim Jong-un doing here? Like a lot of we knew what we were doing with the comment bait, and we knew what we were doing with the controversial angle. So essentially, we're like, why do Asians have such small eyes? And then we got straight into the topic. We talked about some shit with like the retinas and like all this type of like really like deep scientific stuff that we got our scriptwriter to go and kind of like research on, give us the feedback, and then we would write the scripts. And that video was like maybe an 18-second video. It got third video on the channel, maybe 5 million views day 1, 10 million views day 2, another 10 million views day 3, and it sent our channel into the stratosphere. A really cool thing. That video also got us like 400 or like 300,000 subscribers. And what we realized is in those specific type of videos, we're maybe going to cater to a slightly older audience because we're talking about like more scientific things, right? And so I didn't necessarily think asking them to subscribe in the video would be the smartest thing because it would take away from them just wanting to gain the information. And so I was like, how can we fit in getting conversions to just a funny, entertaining piece of content? And so that's why in all of our videos, pretty much, we have subscribe signs just plastered around the 3D animations that don't necessarily take away from the story, but kind of get people aware of the fact that, oh, maybe I should just click the subscribe button if I like this video. We never mentioned it. We never said subscribe. We just had him holding a massive subscribe sign in the video with him blinking and his head at the forefront in the middle. And it worked so well. We got so many subscribers from that video. That video made us a lot of money, and it costed around like $300 to make.
I really like the concept of letting people discover that they should subscribe in a subtle way over directly asking them to. Because like if you ask people to do something, they feel like they're doing something for you, but it's like, oh, I discovered the subscribe. So
but here's the thing. I agree with what you're saying, but then in different situations, you can very easily ask people to subscribe. So I just made a video about how to write the perfect script on YouTube. And one of the topics I covered in it was, apart from visually representing a subscribe button in your videos, relating them to subscribe to the topic of the video can really do well for conversions whilst not killing your retention. So for example, we made a video on Mr. Beast's secret janitor. And essentially it was a video about how Chandler used to be Mr. Beast's janitor. A lot of people started loving him in the videos. And throughout the entire script, we never revealed who it was until at the very end, we were like, oh, the janitor was Chandler. And our payoff to the video was, if you knew it was him all along, subscribe. And so
we used to do that on Snapchat. Yeah. Did you come up with that originally? Had you ever seen anyone do that?
Like, I don't know if we came up with it. I don't really want to take credit for something that I don't know if I did or not 100%. All I do know is that we came up with the idea ourselves. Someone might have done it, but like, I feel like we came up with the idea ourselves because one thing that I really thought we were doing during these scripts was taking the viewers through a journey. We would tell them, sneak peek at who it could be. And so they were in a constant battle the entire time, trying to know if they had the answer or not, or if they needed us to give them the answer. And at the end, we kind of reversed the game on them. We were like, if you knew who it was the entire time, subscribe. And I feel like people have this confidence about them where it's like, yeah, I knew who it was the entire time. Let me hit subscribe. And so like those types of like CTAs on our channels got tons of conversions because we would relate them to the topic and we would relate them to the viewer. So it was like, if you knew it was Chandler, subscribe. Or if you would get mad at Mr. Beast, subscribe. Or if you thought Mr. Beast scammed you, subscribe. You know what I'm trying to say? Like just relating it to the viewer and personally to them is like a really, really good way to get people to convert. And I even did this, like, I've done this a lot on like a lot of different channels. Like I've done this even on my main personal brand channel. I always relate the conversions to the viewer because why would I relate it to myself? That's being selfish, and the viewer has no real like need to help me or really want to help me. They just want to consume the value I give them and hop on to the next thing. But if you kind of give them a reason to or kind of involve them in the situation, I feel like there's a much higher chance for them to actually do what you want without them feeling like they're really doing what you want.
Did you kill that channel? Or does it still run?
We killed that channel.
How many views did it get total, you think?
Yeah, I think it got around 500 million. The thing with that channel is like, and the thing with all of my YouTube Shorts channels is like, I've probably launched and started publicly 5 to 6 YouTube Shorts channels just for YouTube video challenges. So like, if people don't know what my brand is, like I'm not trying to advertise here, but essentially what I do on my brand is instead of just speaking and giving advice, I like to walk the walk whilst I talk it. And so I saw one person do this before, and it was Bia Heza. And I took a lot of inspiration from that and tried to apply that to my niche and what I was good at. And so on pretty much every video, I would start a YouTube channel, get it to thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of subscribers, whatever my goal was for that piece, and essentially prove to people whilst teaching them that this is possible, because it's really easy to consume information, but people really take in information when they visually see it's possible as it's being spoken to them. And so I found that was the best way to kind of represent and give the value that I wanted to provide to people, which is why I took it that way. And so, yeah, like,
Do you think those channels would still work? All the ones you killed?
yeah.
That $300 per video, the animation channel, like I'm assuming, so my thing that was so impressive about you doing that was I think I might be able to find an animator who could do that style, but like how much work put into that part of it?
Yeah, so we had to buy like new PCs and like stuff like that for our animators, because essentially for the channel, like Zach D Films, who's like the biggest person in this 3D niche, is running a very big operation, posting 1 or 2 times a day. He has like a group of like 5 animators, 10 animators. He's probably gotten them all crazy CPUs and GPUs to upload these animations fast. And one thing I didn't realize before starting that type of channel specifically was like, that's low-key like a bit of a real business. Like we got $5,000-$10,000 product offers on that channel to promote on TikTok Shop. And so we had a TikTok variant of the YouTube channel that we just re-uploaded every video we made on YouTube, because we're like, okay, cool. Whilst I'm running this challenge, let me just add a little nugget here to the video and be like, yeah, we also got like 50 million views on TikTok, which we did. A bunch of our TikToks got over 20 million views individually. That account alone has like over 200 million views on TikTok. By the way, TikTok Creator Program paid us nothing for those views. Let me just put that out there, by the way. But yeah, like we got
That would be like what, 20K if they were a minute long?
yeah, like if they were a minute long, but our videos were not a minute long.
Did you consider just remaking that one video that really popped off a minute long, or is it just so much work?
It wasn't about the money. Like the thing with TikTok as well that I don't like is TikTok monetizes on a per video basis. So you could be in the creator program, but they can disqualify certain videos. And it's not necessarily because you're breaking guidelines. It's because of complete BS that they deem BS. So on YouTube, the thing that I genuinely like the most about YouTube is, sure, TikTok advertises $1 RPMs. That's great. Effectively though, almost everyone I've spoken to has ever said that they're like 10 cents or 20 cents or 30 cents. And like, okay, that's great. Let's say they're 30 cents just for the sake of this argument. You make a video that you think is really good, you post it to the TikTok account with the creativity program enabled, and TikTok for some reason can deem that not eligible for monetization. With YouTube, you know that you have a consistent cadence. If you are in the YouTube partner program, every video you make is monetized, and it's not going to get demonetized until you do some outlandish shit, which really never happens. It really never happens, because as long as you follow the same format you did on every other video, you're safe. With TikTok, you could quite literally follow the same format you did on every other video, but they'll just pick and choose certain videos to demonetize, and essentially that just kills your TikTok page. So I really like the consistency around YouTube Shorts, and YouTube Shorts RPMs are creeping to around 30 to 40 cents per 1,000 views now consistently. Just a year and a half ago, they were at 12, 15 cents. And so like, it's very visually and clearly in front of everyone that YouTube's RPM is rising. And I'm very confident in the next like year and a half, they're going to be $1, but they're going to actually be $1. They're not going to be 20 cents on certain videos, 40 cents on others. Like, you are going to have $1 RPM channel wide, which I think is the coolest part.
And also, there's no competition on YouTube compared to TikTok. I would imagine there's way more competition on TikTok.
Listen, I actually think there is competition on YouTube. I think there's a lot more people starting to see that YouTube Shorts is like super viable and starting to create a lot of content around it.
I'm just thinking about the barrier to entry to make a good YouTube short versus a TikTok video that you get paid $1. You know, like they're distributing this pool of money to like literal hundreds of thousands of creators that are getting like 10,000 views. You know what I mean?
I also think competition is a great thing. I think competition boosts everyone views. And so I think if more people start YouTube Shorts channels, that intrinsically just makes me a ton more money. So I just want as many people to start YouTube Shorts channels as possible, because what that means is YouTube now sees, oh, we have a lot more channels. Let's get more advertisers. Let's start paying more RPMs. And so I think competition is a great thing, because I trust in my ability to make good videos, meaning I know when I put out a good video, it is going to get views and no one can take that away from me. A competitor cannot make my video not go viral if I make a really good video. And so if more people are on YouTube, the RPM goes up, the more better videos I make, the more money I make. And so I'm really excited about that. So yeah, if you're watching this, get on YouTube Shorts. Like, I want more competition so that I can make more money for my videos. But in relation to that,
and it drags more people to the platform because there's more content on there. Because YouTube is probably the third most popular platform in terms of short form content. It's probably TikTok, then Instagram, then YouTube Shorts.
I think YouTube is beating. I've looked at some metrics recently. Like, I actually did like a deep dive on this with my team. I'm pretty sure like YouTube is very, very like heavily creeping up on these two short form platforms.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
do you think that's because of international viewership?
yeah, I think YouTube kind of had a fall off a few years ago when TikTok really blew up in 2020, 2021. They didn't have short form. They fell behind. They released YouTube Shorts. People didn't really trust it as much as they did TikTok, because TikTok was out for a longer period at that point. But YouTube is now really, like, you go on YouTube Shorts, there's a lot of brain rot for sure, but like, there are hundreds of thousands of creators. There are trillions of views a day on YouTube Shorts. It's getting an unforced, like, it's getting such a crazy amount of views a day. Like, it's beating long form right now by like billions and billions of views daily.
You know what it is? I think that the reason I perceive YouTube as lower than those is because YouTube Shorts are my worst view platform. Like, Instagram is my best, then it's Facebook, then it's TikTok, then it's YouTube Shorts, like dead last by far.
I don't think YouTube Shorts is the best for clipping just yet. So I don't think YouTube Shorts is the best for redistributing content. I think YouTube Shorts is the best for creating new content. That's my opinion right now. I've tested both. So I've tried running mass campaigns for my software companies and for my brand on YouTube Shorts versus TikTok and Instagram. TikTok and Instagram have gotten the most views for like redistribution type of content, clipping, if you would say, right? But I would say for creating content, so like making a video around IShowSpeed, or like clipping a funny moment from a stream and adding subtitles and a bit of voiceover, YouTube Shorts, I feel like, is really, really climbing up in that ranking versus other platforms. But I'm not sure why like redistribution works a lot better on TikTok and Instagram right now.
Yeah, I wonder if it's because there's more competition on YouTube than I think. But yeah, how much money can someone make with YouTube Shorts? Like, what's the most you've seen in a month?
I've seen faceless creators doing $100,000 profit months. I think 6-figure profit months are like very in the window of like something that can be achieved. On average, like when I've ran up my channels, I've easily seen like $600,000 days. Like, I think $20,000 to $30,000 profit months on one channel on YouTube Shorts is absolute light work. I think it really takes not that much effort. All it takes is just knowing what you're doing. So once you actually like beat the barrier of knowing how to make a good video, I think YouTube Shorts is like honestly the easiest platform to scale and make AdSense revenue on compared to TikTok and Instagram. But when you start running like a real infrastructure around your like process, so 5 YouTube Shorts channels, 10 YouTube Shorts channels, editors, channel managers, you can have a $60,000, $100,000 a month profit business on AdSense on like $5,000 a month costs.
And then what's the highest leverage thing with all of that? Like, is it the ideas themselves? And how do you find killer video ideas?
I think ideas is definitely the most important, because you can make a video about pencils and have the best scripts and visuals ever, but no one cares about pencils. And so the idea starts at the forefront. I think the best ideas are things that have already gone viral. So let me explain this. On the 3D animation channel, the 4th video we posted, so the 3rd video was that why Asians have small eyes. The 4th video is about how your muscles grow, right? And we were kind of dry on ideas. We didn't really understand like, how are we going to find new ideas today? Like, we were kind of confused. And we pretty much went on YouTube and we searched through like the long form tab for like these science channels that just make like these interesting videos. And we found a video that was made like 8 years ago. And I actually documented this for the challenge, but we found a channel that made a video like 8 years ago. It was a 20-minute like science kind of like visual on how muscles grow. And we basically sent that to our scriptwriter. We were like, if this worked for long form, it's going to work for short form. And we took that, we sent it to our scriptwriter. We were like, get all the main data points that he covered in this video. Like, get all the information that he covered here. He got it all laid out. Me and my boys wrote a script, a 35, 40-second script. We posted it, 4th video on the channel, 11 million views. And so I think taking ideas from long form for YouTube Shorts is genuinely one of the easiest way to pretty much guarantee a viral concept. The rest of the work, scripting, visuals, that's your job. But to find a viral concept, I think taking it from long form is such a hack. It's such a good method.
Do you take their title and make it your hook?
No. So you just take the video concept, if it's gone viral for a long form video,
and you take like, what did that video look like visually? Was it like the thumbnail was an arrow pointing to a muscle and say like how muscles grow? Like what?
I'm pretty sure it was like the internals of what a muscle looked like, with like the yellow and the like dark red, like the brain type of color. And then it was arrows between the muscles and them essentially growing. That was the thumbnail of the long form video. And so what we did is we started our hook off with someone's bicep, and then we zoomed into his bicep. First, it was just the skin. And then we kind of like, how do I explain it? We peeled off the skin and showed like the inside.
Peeled off the inside.
Yeah. So we peeled off the skin and showed the inside of like what the muscles look like and then stretched them out. And so we basically took essentially what the thumbnail was showing of that long form video and visually represented it in our intro. But I feel like there was a lot more ways to go about it. Like, I don't really find too much importance in that specifically, like taking the thumbnail, turning it into the hook of the short. I just thought that that thumbnail like visually represented how muscles grow really well. So we were like, okay, like if we're making a video on how muscles grow, let's show a muscle growing in the first few seconds because that's what they're here for. But yeah, like the most viral shorts I've made on like the Slam Dunk channel, which was the channel around Mr. Beast videos, was going to Mr. Beast's most viral videos or his most viral controversies. Like we would go to controversy channels, filter by Mr. Beast, and see if there was anything that they would mention, like something that he did wrong or like some shit that he got into, and we would make a video around it. Because if 1 million people watch a controversy video around him, there's obviously interest there. Another really cool thing that I would do if you're making videos around like big celebrities or big figures is if they have any podcasts. This is like kind of unethical, but it's super sick. We would go to the podcast, and I would pretty much just watch like podcasts all day of Mr. Beast, essentially, because that was what our channel was about. And he would tell stories in these podcasts. Like, I almost died in a car crash one time. Like, I fell asleep at the wheel. And I was like, shit, like that's a video idea right there. Like, Mr. Beast almost died. So we basically made a video, a whole like 45-second video. Half of the information was just fluff that we filled in. And essentially, we just clipped that small 5-second part. If he was like, yeah, like I fell asleep at the wheel and I almost died. And that was our payoff of our video. And so like, searching for ideas and creating narratives is a super big thing on YouTube Shorts. Like you can create a story out of nothing. Like if it's not a story, you can create one. Like Mr. Beast was on Andrew Schultz and he was talking about how he had $1 billion offer, but he didn't want to go through with it. We made a short about how Mr. Beast declined $1 billion. And that was like maybe a 3-minute talking point in that entire podcast. They never really even put like any emphasis on it during the podcast. It wasn't even in the intro of the podcast. But we saw like he declined $1 billion. We can spin that narrative right there. Like Mr. Beast declined $1 billion. He could have been the youngest self-made billionaire. Why did he say no? And that was our intro. And so taking storylines and creating narratives around things that aren't necessarily there, but filling in the gaps for viewers, because you can fill in a story for someone. It's really not that hard. You just add a bit of context to like things that would make sense. So like if Mr. Beast really did go in depth in this, what would he have probably said? Like, yeah, I was going to be the youngest self-made billionaire, because that's essentially what would have happened if he accepted $1 billion offer. We just filled in the gaps for him and we made a video out of it.
I remember doing that with those Snapchat shows. It was like, okay, we have 10 seconds of real content and then we have 30 seconds of us just talking about what we think about it maybe. But I do want to ask more specifically, if I were to tell you to find a viral video idea right now, what would you, like what website would you go on? What search parameters would you do?
Niche? Because that's like extremely dependent, like
celebrity drama.
Okay.
Would you go on view stats? Like,
No, I would go on TikTok and see the most clip narratives and Twitter. So Twitter have like very big redistribution accounts called like Feared Buck or Kira. And these accounts are basically paid to post streamer clips on Twitter, and they get like millions of impressions, like Jason the Ween just kicked this girl out of his house or whatever it may be, right? I would go on these really big like Twitter pages. I would go sort by last 7 days and see the biggest impression tweets of the last week. I would go take that biggest impression tweet and turn it into a YouTube short idea, because the work is done for you 99% of the time. You don't need to create viral ideas. You can find them and then reshift them into your own little video. And so like if I was making videos around celebrity drama, I would just genuinely see what's going on that week by going to the biggest pages reporting celebrity drama. Why would I go want to do all the work myself, watch through a 3-hour Kai Cenat stream and check for one moment that someone might have gotten mad at someone for? Like I would go to these big accounts doing the work for me, like Feared Buck, whose job all day is to basically take streamer clips, post them, and add a live subtitle around them and create a fake narrative. The narrative is now done for me. I don't even have to make the narrative anymore.
Daniel, do real estate.
Real estate?
Yeah. How would you research for real estate, make viral content?
I would go on Ryan Serhant, basically see the most expensive house that he's listing and be like, Ryan Serhant almost closed the most expensive listing in America, but it never went through. Or like, I would just create a fake narrative around this, bro. Like,
if you didn't use Ryan Serhant, where would you go? Would you just like, why is your thought to automatically go to top person in the niche?
Because the views are already there for me.
And you attract that audience automatically. I get it. Yeah.
Like, I can just steal someone else's audience. Why would I want to create my own? Like, why do I have to do the work?
Would you ever make like general content? Like, what if you did finance?
Finance is super easy. Big numbers, bro. Like, if I wanted to make finance videos, I would just fearmonger people. The market is collapsing. Or like, you have 30 days to get rich. Like,
where would you source that news though? Because you mentioned like the Feared Buck page for the other niche, but like, how about finance? How would you go about finding where your golden news source is?
Watcher Guru, any of these big New York Times, any of these big Business Insider. Like, for example, for me, if I was to go on finance right now, I would go to the biggest finance pages on Twitter, like Watcher Guru, who reports on Bitcoin, the SEC, all of these big people, like laundering money, liquidations, all this shit. And I would just go and create like narratives around what's going on. Like,
do you look for outliers all time, or do you look for outliers like last 3 months? How do you think of that?
Well,
because there's trending and then there's evergreen content.
I think it depends, right? So like there's a channel called Fern. They're kind of a 3D type of like animation channel, but they're long form and they make like really cool documentaries on like heists and bank robberies. And so if I were in the business of making really cool videos that aren't necessarily trend based, but just really good stories, I would go and do research on the craziest bank heists of all time, the craziest crypto scams of all time, the most money stolen from one single person. I would go look for like very key big metrics and try to create stories around what's already happened. But if I were a trending type of channel who's trying to kind of adopt an audience every single new video based on what's going on, like if I were a live news channel basically, and I just have to keep regurgitating what's going on day by day, I would use news sources as my media. Like I would use it as my information, because like I said, like, why reinvent the wheel when you could just take from it? Like, I don't want to have to do the work to reinvent something or figure it out on my own. It's done for me. If you have the ability to write a good script, to make good visuals, if you understand the fundamentals of how to go viral on social media, you can turn anything viral. Like, the proof is in the pudding. I did it on Snapchat, I did it on YouTube Shorts, I did it on software, I did it on a personal brand. I've done it on Minecraft channels. Like, I literally ran Minecraft channels when I was 13 and got hundreds of thousands of views playing Bed Wars. Like, if you just understand the fundamentals, it doesn't matter where you get the ideas from, how you source things. It's just about how you can spin it into an entertaining video that a lot of people are going to like. And if the work is already done for me, seeing as a lot of people are engaging with this type of post on Twitter, then that means there's obviously a lot of people interested. So why don't I just take that storyline and make it way more interesting for a YouTube video? And so, like, people overcomplicate this way too much. If you're making videos around finance, take the biggest finance topics, maybe spin a little narrative around it and make it entertaining. If you're making videos around gaming, take the biggest gaming news, spin a narrative around it and make it entertaining. Like, the things I would do when I was doing those Mr. Beast videos, like, bro, the narratives I would create, bro. Like there would be a time, for example, in a Mr. Beast video where like there was a family who had just won $500,000. They were like emotionally speaking to the camera. And then Carl was like, okay, that's enough. And then I made a whole video around how Mr. Beast hates Carl for cutting off a family that was excited about making $500,000. And that video got like if I had my phone right now, I want to see how many views that video has. I wish I could play it for this pod just so they could see like how outlandish it really sounds, but I've done it. Like I literally have done it.
How much money did that video make?
Dude, Slam Dunk was ran back in 2022 when it was a fund that YouTube Shorts paid out of. So it wasn't a partner program where you would get paid a set RPM. They had a specific fund that they paid every Shorts channel out of. So when that fund ran out, essentially no one made money anymore. And so we were only making like $6,000 a month off that YouTube channel on like hundreds of millions of views a month. In today's revenue, that video probably has like 10, 15 million views. That would have made me like 4 or 5K.
Quick one. If you guys haven't realized, YouTube Shorts is one of the best ways to make your first $10,000 online. And honestly, Daniel is one of the best in the game when it comes to making short form content. So if you guys want to work with him one-on-one and learn his exact formula for going viral and making money with shorts, you can apply today by going to gateway.ytportal.io/podcast. Or by hitting the first link in the description. As a friend, Daniel's taught me a lot about shorts, so working with him is a no-brainer in my opinion. But anyway, guys, back to the podcast. And on Snapchat, do you remember how much it made you?
Dude, we had like $10 RPMs on Snapchat.
How many views was it?
I didn't post that video on Snap.
Okay, that video was on Snap. Okay,
No.
got it.
The only videos we posted on Snap were Andrew Tate, Drake, and Aiden Ross.
Do you know what our biggest video was on Snapchat?
Yours?
Yeah, it was about a Mr. Beast contestant.
Oh, it was, right?
Yeah, it made 50 one time, 20 one time, and 10 another time, just reposting it.
Dude, we had a video that made us like 700. Yeah, we had a video that made us 700.
What one video made
Yeah.
you 700K on Snap?
It was an Andrew Tate video. So you want me to explain to you like what Snapchat would feel like? I would wake up in the morning, check the video. So this was my schedule at the time. I would make videos at 8 p.m. until like 5 a.m. I would wake up for school at 6:30 a.m. I would get home at 2 p.m. because I had a superstition that I wouldn't check my Snapchat show stats until I got back from school. It was just something that I always did. So I got back from school and checked this Andrew Tate video, and we posted Tate videos every day. And I would just see like, oh shit, this video has 5 million views already. We posted it like 6 hours ago. Like we have a $10 RPM. We just made 50 grand in 6 hours. And like, dude, sometimes like I remember at the very end, I started posting like 2 times a day on Snapchat. And like the videos would get like 3 million views each. And then eventually like over the course of like a week, they'd get like 4, 5, 10 million views. And like, I just remember like old videos blowing up again. Like I put so much content out that old videos would just start blowing up again. And there were days where we would do like we had 180, 90K day off like old videos, not even the new videos that we would upload. Like it was a money machine, bro.
Do you know our most viewed video? I might have to cut this out. But our we had one video that got 6 million in 2 hours.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it was
Ooh, I remember that
and
video.
that's what got all the shows banned.
Dude, yeah, you fucked everyone, dude. I'd still be making like $1 million a month on Snapchat right now. I was, bro, that was like,
But
I
hey,
had
you
that
might,
shit
we
on
not,
lock.
might not be here and you might not be doing Crayo.
Yeah, dude, I love everything I'm doing right now. Like there was this trend that I started on Snapchat towards the end when it almost died. It was Baby Alien.
Oh, that was you guys? Okay.
It wasn't even me. It was after Luke had stopped Snap and I was running my own shows. Basically, I'd found Tate was getting dry. Aiden kind of got banned. I think Tate also got banned off Snap. Like a lot of shit just started like the ball started rolling and they started getting stricter with everything. And I was like, okay, how do I find ideas? Exactly what I said 10 minutes ago. I went on TikTok, made a new account and started following the most brain rot fucking bullshit that I could find. And eventually I found Baby Alien on my For You page and the video had 600,000 views. I was like, okay, let me try and make a Snapchat video around this. First video, 4 million views. Next video, 8 million views. Next video, 3 million views. And that Baby Alien trend alone probably made around like 400 or 500K in like 2 weeks. And so like Snapchat was crazy, but it's entirely dead now. Like you cannot really do anything on it anymore and it's just not worth it.
What's the craziest way you've made money on YouTube?
I just wrapped up running a channel around like 3 weeks ago for a new YouTube video I made. Essentially, the YouTube video was getting 1 subscriber equals $1 I can spend on my dream car. And so I needed to get 220,000 subscribers to buy my dream car, which was a G-Wagon for $220,000. And so basically I ran this channel called Verusi. The video's uploaded now, anyone can watch it. Essentially the videos were kids videos, and we would steal these Russian creators' videos, and they would make like really funny skits for like 5-year-olds of like a mom like stealing her kid's Kinder, and then the kid getting mad, and then the dad slipping on the Kinder. It was like the most brain rot.
What's Kinder?
A Kinder egg, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's some European shit, bro. We're in America right now.
So you guys don't know what Kinder eggs are?
But they're not as common, right?
Yeah,
I think they're more
eggs.
common in Europe.
The eggs.
Yeah. They're more common over there.
Dude, you guys have no
It's
culture.
like a Kit Kat.
It's not like a fucking Kit Kat, but whatever. Okay, so basically, like they were just really essentially stupid skits that were made by like this Russian YouTube kids channel, and they had like 10 million subscribers. What we would do is we would take those and we would put a voiceover over them, pretty much documenting what was going on in the video. So this kid just gave his mom a Kinder, like whatever was happening in the video, we just voice over it in the most 2-year-old voice possible with the most simple wording possible. Like let's actually pop up a video of what that looks like or something like that, because it was genuinely the most kid-friendly video of all time. Okay.
Give me an example of like a sentence.
The dad got mad at the mom, but then the mom was sad because the kid got sad. Like it was just the most like genuinely, I don't even know how those types of videos get views. I just follow what's working and then I adapt. Like to be really honest, in that niche, that is absolutely insane to me. Like, but they're 5-year-old kids. Like that's what they're growing up on, I guess. Whatever does them good. So pretty much, we made those videos. I bought a pre-monetized channel, which essentially meant that I bought the channel with already monetization enabled, so that from the first video we could generate revenue, and our videos would get pushed out faster, because YouTube are incentivized to push out videos that they make money on as well. And so when the channel was monetized, they're placing ads on the videos, hence they're making money from the ads, right? And so buying pre-monetized channels on YouTube Shorts, super good hack, especially if you want to make money fast and if you already know how to make good content. That's besides the point. We bought a pre-monetized channel. We started posting. Second video, 5 million views. Third video, 4 million views. And this was called a CTA channel. So what this meant is in the middle of the video, we would abruptly stop and we would be like, subscribe if you want a pizza, like if you want a tomato, comment if you want an apple, and do all if you want your family to like live forever or some bullshit like that, right? It was like really, really, really like brain rot, but it worked so well. We were getting like 100,000 subscribers a week, and we got like...
Was this long form content?
Shorts, YouTube Shorts.
Okay, this is shorts. Okay.
And
did you label the content as for kids?
No.
Okay.
No, we didn't. And so basically, because labeling your content for kids means if you mess up in any way and have one little slip up, your channel gets terminated. So I played the safe side and labeled it as not for kids, because kids... So I'll explain why we labeled it not for kids. I essentially realized that little kids don't have their own devices. They use their parents' devices to watch content. And so when a little kid is using their parents' device to watch a video, their parent is registered as a 30 or 40-year-old. And so our entire audience demographic was 80% USA, 40-year-old viewers. And YouTube would essentially think that these are high trust advertisers, right? So like they would put advertisers who would spend more money on our videos, because essentially there would be a higher chance to convert to that content from an older audience. And so that's the key on YouTube Shorts, getting older viewers and USA viewers. If you do that, YouTube is going to push you to more expensive advertisers, which means your RPM is going to go up. And so we essentially tricked YouTube, because getting kids to watch videos is super easy. It's not that hard. You don't have to go crazy on the script, because they're super brain rotted and they don't need to be like rehooked here and that there. Like obviously you still need to use these fundamentals, but it's a much simpler process to get kids to watch a 20-second video, especially if they're like 5 or 6 years old. And as long as you just visually are like really big, for kids, that's the biggest thing. It's not really about what you're saying, it's about what you're seeing for really young kids. And that's what I realized. And so I made content for kids so young that they would watch it on their parents' devices, and our RPM was like 35 cents per video. And in the first week of that channel, we made $4,000. We paid an editor, I promise you, $5 per video. So for a week, we uploaded 7 videos. It costed us $35, and we made $3,000 in our first week and got 150,000 subscribers. Second week, made another $2,000 and got another 100,000 subscribers. And I basically got 220,000 subscribers for the video, bought my car, and in the process made like $6,000 on that channel.
Do you think you could do a long form channel like that would print money?
Yeah, I think so. I just
Because what I'm curious of is the only person I know, like myself, that's not better at YouTube, but like close to like you at YouTube, and then like good at what I assume Mr. Beast is like Collins Key. And are you familiar with Collins?
Of course.
And like he made content specifically for kids, and I'm wondering if he got those adult RPMs.
I don't think he got. I think his videos are labeled as made for kids. I think his videos might be labeled as made for kids, just because he's so big that like he definitely YouTube know who he is. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, and he's at the point where he's like selling products.
He's selling
for
products
kids.
and
That makes
he's
sense.
running advertisements. YouTube Shorts, it's simple. You don't need to be a billion subscriber channel. You can just be a few 100,000 subscribers, but getting millions of views a video and getting paid for it. And so YouTube don't need to be on your radar about it, is what I'm trying to say. We just made these super simple 20, 30-second videos made for kids, 5, 6-year-olds. They would watch on their parents' devices. And in turn, YouTube basically got tricked into giving us really high RPMs because the audience demographic was just insane, bro. 40-year-old audience, 80% US. And we basically like did the inverse to get the opposite result. Like instead of making videos for adults, we made videos for such young kids that they were forced to use adult devices.
How do you make killer clickbait?
Are you talking long form or short form here?
Long form. I know shorts doesn't really matter.
I think killer clickbait is actually delivering on viewer expectation. I think clickbait isn't what it used to be. You can't just make a video that promises one thing and deliver another and expect the video to go viral. In this day and age, on YouTube long form especially, you need to deliver on viewer expectations. So if you're saying and putting something in your title and thumbnail, you need to deliver on that in the video, or else the video is not going to go viral. And so that's the biggest thing I've realized across making so many videos on long form by now. Deliver on viewer expectations. Give them what they clicked on the video for, and you are going to get a higher watch time. You're going to get paid by YouTube, and your video is going to get pushed out. Because why the hell is YouTube going to reward you for not delivering on what the viewers are expecting to watch? That could have worked back in the day. You could have been like, hey, this spider ate a kid, right? And then you could have like teased that for 15 minutes, and then on the 16-minute, just like put up a bullshit image and it never really happened. That doesn't work anymore. You need to genuinely deliver on viewer expectations. And so when you're creating your title and thumbnail for YouTube long form, first, there's a couple things that come with a title and thumbnail. I think a thumbnail, I mean, this is pretty common knowledge, but like you should have like 2 or 3 just main points of your thumbnail. Shouldn't be any more than that. You don't want to cram it. Your title, honestly, titles don't need to be like anything crazy anymore. Like my title for the video was like, 1 subscriber equals $1 I spent on my dream car. That video has 100,000 views. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like simple, deliver on viewer expectations. As long as the video is really good, that's all that matters now. I've had really simple thumbnails of like just me and my face being worried get like 200,000 views just because I made a really good video. Like making a really good video is all that matters on YouTube long form.
So what's like an ideal thumbnail for this podcast, given what we've talked about so far?
I would put like my face, and then I would put like a red card, since that's your channel theme, and like you have a theme across your thumbnails. And so when people see a red card, they will psychologically associate to you now as that's what you've done across the last few months. And then I would put some shit in the red card that's like, going viral isn't luck. Something that people tend to assume on average. So like,
Do you think 30 mil at 18 is better, or something about YouTube Shorts?
well, it depends what type of audience you're trying to hit, right? And so if you're trying to go for mass market, using more mass market terms is going to perform better. But if I were to run a B2B channel that is meant to target people who want to write emails, right? Longer words kill your conversions. Like just basically summarizing a expectation or a preconceived notion in a very simple card or in a very simple way for a thumbnail, I think is the best way. So like, for example, if we want to hit mass market with this podcast, 30 mil at 18, holy shit. Like, yeah, that's crazy. Or if we want to hit a YouTube Shorts audience or someone who's super technical with this video, we'd be like, steal all your ideas. You know what I'm trying to say? Like something that just goes against the grain for the word, for the like little text that you're using, but just people who are interested in that topic are going to click on.
And guys, I know that's a bit off topic, but it is really relevant to the hooks of short form videos as well.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think about meta narrative as a creator? Because there's the idea, like the spectacle of what you're showing, maybe the knowledge and the value you're trying to give across. But how are you thinking about the story or the vibe? And I'll ask this another way. So there are two sides of content creation. There's spectacle like Mr. Beast or like Ryan Trahan, personal, organic, relatable content. Like, what have you learned about this side of things?
I think spectacles work well if what you're doing in the video matches the spectacle. So I don't think you could necessarily create a spectacle type of video around a topic that doesn't deserve to be a spectacle. And so these guys have the budgets, have the kind of infrastructure to run spectacles, right? So like Ryan Trahan can travel to 50 states and that's a spectacle. And he'll do that in 30 days. Mr. Beast can go spend $10 million on a bunker and review the biggest bunkers in the world worth billions of dollars. That's a spectacle. But like, if you're trying to make a video around a water bottle, like what type of spectacle can you really create? I feel like I don't really lean towards that type of content. And I think it can work, but I think
you're building a personal brand now, so you're kind of forced to show parts of yourself that are interesting. Or are you just like, let me just show myself doing the thing that is a spectacle and then make sure it ties into my product?
I think essentially like it depends what you're trying to get out of your content. Like if you're trying to create a spectacle and then teach something from it, that's one way. Or if you're just trying to teach it or just trying to show a spectacle and get as many people to watch your video as possible, that's another thing. Like for me, I guess for most people on earth, like getting 1 million subscribers on a YouTube channel is a spectacle because it's like, oh, like 1 million subscribers, that's 1 million people. I can do that pretty easily. And so like tying that into a video of mine backed by how I did it is like my edge. Like that's what I can show to people. That's a spectacle and that's what makes me different from everybody else who's trying to compete with me.
But do you care about being relatable and funny and conversational? Like,
so I think people relate to other people and that's the best way, or people trust other people and that's the best way to get someone to kind of buy what you want or listen to what you have to say, follow your narrative as you're making content for the next like 5-10 years. And so I like to use like self-deprecating humor in my videos because I feel like people relate to that. So like during my challenges, I'll be like, yeah, like I failed this channel, or like this video didn't pop off. Like my parents are going to kick me out. Like they don't love me anymore. So like, I love using humor and like self-deprecating humor in my videos because I just feel like that relates to the audience. If I were just someone that blew up YouTube channels, I would seem like I'm levels above everyone else. But what I'm trying to get across is that I'm not. I'm not levels above you. I'm exactly like you. I just have a skill that you don't have. If I show someone that I have similar humor to them, I relate to them how any of one of their friends would relate to them when they go out to dinner. But at the same time, I can make thousands of dollars online. That makes someone look at my videos and be like, oh shit, like I can do this too. Like this guy's just like me. He just has a skill that I don't have. And so that's how I think of all my videos and all of the content I portray. It's like, yes, I have this skill. I make money. I run businesses, but I'm just like you. And I use humor to do that.
It's interesting. It's like the mixing of like humility plus showing off a spectacle.
You don't need to be, there's a very big preconceived notion that like everyone who's rich is a dickhead and they're like a different class of elites and they're just like different people. But it's not like that. And you know it's not like that, right? Like, I mean, there are some people who are like that, but it doesn't have to be like that. And so not enough of that is shown on social media. Like what's shown on social media is the Tates of the world or the Luke Belmars of the world, right? Who are like supposedly levels above everyone else. But it doesn't really have to be like that. What it can really be is like, I'm just like you. I can do this too. Let me literally show you that I'm doing this and teach you across the entire way. You could like take a shot for it yourself.
If you had to go from 0 to 1 million subscribers in 6 months, how would you do it?
Okay. Number one, I'd make a new YouTube Shorts account. I would go on my For You page on YouTube Shorts and just start liking videos that are in the faceless niche because that's the type of content I'm creating, right? So I'm talking here specifically for people who are trying to create faceless content. They would go, start engaging with topics, start engaging with videos, and then I would start analyzing channels that have over 1 million views on average per video. And so if you have a channel that has 30 uploads and they have 40 million views, that is a very good sign that you should take that niche and try to replicate it for yourself. So that's one of the biggest metrics I try to see when finding first my niche to start. If there are channels that have over 1 million views on average per video, that is my metric. It can be around 800,000 and above, but that's what I look at. That's number one. Then I will go in and pretty much watch like their most popular videos, their top 10, top 5 most popular videos. I'll see how long they are. I'll see the type of editing. I'll transcribe all of their scripts. I'll download them on Google Doc, and I'll highlight all of the big points of the script. Like what is their hook? What is their payoff? How do they relate the context to the hook? How do they use a supporting sentence in their video right after the hook? I'll pretty much psychoanalyze like basically the guts of what the script is. And then I'll go and start pretty much finding topics in whatever niche they make. So let's say, for example, I don't know if you ever heard of like or seen the top 5 ranking niche, where it's like they play the top 5 Karens owned or like top 5 funniest streamer clips, right? So I would go in and I would see just the little things. Like, for example, people usually do like number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? I would think, okay, let's do number 2 first, edge them to number 1. But then let's go to number 4 right after, and then number 3, and then number 5, and then number 1. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
because that's the most interesting order. I saw that done yesterday. Actually,
exactly,
it was
right?
Top 5. It's like best 6, 7 moments or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
And so like these are little things I'd psychoanalyze. Like I would analyze like the little things about a video and how can I make it better. Like the other day, I was looking at the top 5 ranking niche and I saw a guy who on his 3rd video got 40 million views, 5th video got 20 million views. And I saw that he was doing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and his clips were in 720p. So instantly he's getting 1 million views on average per video. That's my first key metric, which means he is successful. He's getting views. That means I can now do it. Next step, how can I make the videos better? Number 1, 1080p clips. Number 2, maybe I change the colors of the top 5 ranking. Number 5 is gray. Number 4 is like blue. Number 3 is bronze. Number 2 is silver. Number 1 is gold. Now, like I just mentioned before, I do 2, 4, 5, 3, 1. Or I do like 3, 2, 5, 4, 1. Like I play around with this, right? And I would just basically dissect the video and try to make it better in every way that I can. And then I would go start looking for a team to make these videos. And so the best way to find talent for YouTube Shorts is to go on Discord servers. There are a ton of editing Discord servers, and this could be for any type of content. You could be a personal brand, you could be a faceless creator. Finding talent on Discord is how I found pretty much all of my talent, bro. And there's a lot of people who are there, talented, don't have enough work, but they have potential to get to like where they could be or where I want them to be. And so you hire these people. You really, really, like if you want to create something real and if you want to create a business and if you want to create like a system that's running 5, 10, 15 channels, you sit on calls with these people for hours a day. They edit videos on the call with you. You change what you don't like whilst they're editing. Like you really put the effort into making a good video as if you would yourself. Because I think one of the most important things of making content is being able to do every part of the process yourself. Or at least if you can't like edit yourself, being able to know what you would want in the editing yourself, right? And so understanding every part of the process and how to do it makes it really easy to hire good talent because you know what makes someone good, you know if they have potential, or you know if you should probably let them go because they can't really meet your requirements. And so
how do you find these people on Discord?
There's a bunch of different editing Discord servers. So if you go on Google, you go on pretty much any search browser and you search editing community Discord servers, there are just like lists and lists and lists of these websites that have like hundreds of Discord servers with thousands or even hundreds of thousands of members. You join these Discord servers, you put job listings of what you want. And like, for example, this is what I do, right? So let's say I want to pay $5 per video, $2 per video. I would go and be like, hey, I'm looking for a video editor, potential to pay up to $10 per video. This is what I need. I need daily uploads. You get a bunch of DMs. You're like, hey, we're going to be starting out at like $2 to $3 per video. Once we hit 1 million views per video, I will up you to 5. Once we hit like 5 million views per video, I'll up you to 10. And so like you can start these people at the price you want them to be. And essentially, I'm going kind of in the weeds of how to create the team here, but this is what it takes to get 1 million subscribers in 6 months if you really want to do it. You need to understand the part of your process. And so you go on YouTube, you find a niche with a million and above average, you figure out how to make each part of the video better. And if you can't, you don't have an edge. If you don't know how to edit as good as this person, you don't know how to find an editor as good as this person, you don't have an edge. So don't try. You need to find what you have an edge in. What can make you better than this person? Are you a really good writer? Are you really good visually? Do you understand what people like to see or do you understand what people like to hear? And so taking all these metrics, seeing what you can stand out in, finding a team that complements your talents, and then start posting one video a day. Okay? Start posting one video a day. Every single day that you post a video, go into the YouTube analytics dashboard, check your retention, check how many impressions you're getting, check your swipe rate. Swipe rate is a super important metric. It tells you how many people swipe away versus watch your video. A swipe rate is made up of like the first 2 to 3 seconds. And basically what it's made up of is your hook and your visual. They don't care about the title. They don't care about the description. They don't care about any of that. As long as your hook and your visual is entertaining enough for people to not want to swipe away, you're good. So you should aim for above 80% swipe rate on all of your YouTube shorts. 78% and up is like where you want to aim for, because I've had videos with like 77 to 78% get like 10 million views. So anything like 77 or 78 plus is good. Start posting one video a day. Analyze your retention on pretty much every video, analyze how many impressions it's getting, and analyze the audience demographic. And so if you see your videos are starting to blow up, but you're getting a 60% Indian audience with a 12 to 18-year-old audience, chances are when you get monetized, you are not going to make that much money from a channel like that. And so there's no real point in really putting effort in. And so those are pretty much the key pillars. Post once a day for a month, analyze pretty much every single video, and actually improve on the fixes you make. And so what I like to do is, once I can kind of see the stats of my video after like a day or two, I'll re-go to the script. I'll see where the retention dips, or I'll see where it spikes. And then I'll basically take those formats or take those learnings and put them into my next video, and then put those into my next video and the next one and the next one. And basically you're just compounding improvement every single video. And I also think one of the most important things to getting big fast is having a group of people doing it with you at the same time. Because if you're a group of one person, you're solving all your problems on your own. If you're a group of 5 people working on the same type of thing, you're solving 5 problems, like 5 times faster problems. You get what I'm trying to say? And so like when we were doing Snapchat and we were a group of like 8 people and we were all running different channels, let's say for example, 8 different channels, he has a problem on his channel I'm facing. Okay, now I know the fix to that when I come across it. He has a problem on his channel I'm facing. Now I know the fix to that when I come across it. You're basically solving problems X amount times faster of however many people you have in your group. And so I think that's super underrated, and it's a super good motivator to keep going when you have people who are doing it with you. And so that's like a really, really big thing that I've always done. I never start a business or a channel or anything fully alone. I just don't like to do it. Some people are solopreneurs, and I respect that. But I'm so much more effective when I have people to go to and ideas to bounce off with, because you just get to where you need to be faster. I mean, it's honestly super simple. If you see the biggest people in the respective field that you're trying to get to go over certain topics of what helped them, you should probably apply it to yourself. If Mr. Beast said he had a group of 5 people when he came up and they would all bounce ideas off each other, there's a very high chance that you should probably have a group of 5 people when you're coming up and bounce ideas off each other, because these are just things that work.
That group today is like are some of the most successful like entrepreneurs like in the world. I would guess that pretty much everyone has made millions of dollars, and like no one started there, and it's because we saw each other and it kind of raised our expectations. It's like, oh, I know Daniel's company's worth $30 million. Like, okay, let me raise my expectations, because I remember when this kid was 15 and started on Snapchat.
Exactly.
You know,
I really I urge everybody to create a group of people who are aligned with the same vision as you. Doesn't necessarily mean you all have to work on the same channel or the same business. But
how did you kind of orchestrated that group? I actually didn't know, because my partner was just like, hey, meet this kid, you know? So I didn't know like how you guys got introduced.
This is what happened. So obviously I met Luke. So the way I met Luke is I used to edit for him when I used to be an editor. And then he reached out to me. He was like, yo, I want to start this channel, blah, blah, blah. I answered the call. We started the channel. And then we found a channel on Snapchat posting videos, and it was called, and we were like, okay, let's just search this name up. Let's just like deep dive into this and just key search, see what we can find. And I found his Twitter, your partner's Twitter. And then I messaged him and I was like, yo, I'm doing Snapchat too.
Just because the name was his name?
Yeah. I mean, we got lucky there, but
why did you seek like out, for instance?
Because having someone that's in a similar field to you doing really well is not competition. It doesn't need to be competition. Why does it need to be competition? Why do you want to limit yourself to having to compete against someone when you both could become 10 times bigger? The market's big enough for everybody. it's genuinely big enough for everybody. You don't need competition. Like, obviously, if you're running a software company and it's a video editing tool and there's someone else running a software video editing tool, I guess your competition in there. But we were making videos online, right? And so like, we were not competing against each other. We were competing against the market. Who could make a good video? Who could get views? And that's how social media works. I don't believe, and this might be like, not like a common belief, but I don't believe me getting views means that you don't get views. I feel like if make a good video and you make a good video, we both get views. And so why not talk to you, learn from you, and teach you what I know and you teach me what you know, so we could both get big together.
And then just for the people who are confused about this, because I know I am, like, why wouldn't you be friends with the biggest AI clipping people and like share stuff?
So
like, what's the difference there?
The thing is when you're
because you own the audience, basically?
Yeah, like when you're working with a video editor, it's a very like my video editor versus your video editor. Like, are they going to use yours or are they going to use mine? When you're making videos online, it's like they can watch your channel and they can watch my channel. They can't necessarily use your video editor and use mine, because when someone uses a video editor, they want to use one and they want to be loyal to one and they just want to use that to make all their videos. Like, would it make sense for me to edit half my video in Premiere Pro than the other half in CapCut? No.
It's like if you own Snapchat and I owned Instagram,
exactly.
Like we probably wouldn't share anything because they're both, yeah.
But here's how I would gain friends. In the software space, I have a lot of friends who create software and are making a lot of money in software, but they're in different niches to me. They're the same fundamental teachings that they're learning about how to convert people to a funnel, or how to get audience for cheap, or how to retain an audience. These are fundamentals that I can apply to my software company, which doesn't necessarily mean I'm taking users away from them. Because let's say one of my friends runs a tool on tracking views, right? All he wants to do is acquire customers and get them to retain on his platform. That's what I want to do too. People editing on my software doesn't necessarily mean that they don't want to track views on his software, but we can apply the same teachings to each other to grow both of our software companies. And so I have a lot of friends who do software. We don't necessarily compete because we're in different niches, but I learned so much from them and they learned so much from me because we can apply the same fundamental teachings of our business models to each other. And here's the same thing, like my partner Musa, we both run a course. He runs a course on TikTok, I run a course on YouTube, right? And so that gets a bit weird because they're different platforms. And so like, I guess he wants everyone to be on TikTok and I want everyone to be on YouTube, but
you guys are competing against each other on the course, but ultimately the funnel goes to the
funnel goes to the same business. And so whether they do TikTok or they do YouTube, I don't care because I don't really care to make money from my course. Like, sure, it makes me money, but I want to be a billionaire. Like, I want companies worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Hey, really quick. Most people assume that you have to work hard for money, but wealthy people know that you have to make your money work hard for you. But the problem with this is most people don't really know where to start. And that's why I was so excited when we started working with today's sponsor, Moomoo. Moomoo is a trading platform that gives you the same pro-level tools that Wall Street has been using for years. Level 2 market data, advanced charting, earnings calendars, stock screeners, all in one place, right on your phone. And right now they've got 2 killer promos running for the next few weeks, so you're not gonna wanna miss out on this. First, any cash sitting in your account that's not invested will earn up to 8.1% interest for the first 3 months. And second, when you make a deposit into your account, you'll get a free NVIDIA stock worth up to $1,000 based on what you put in. So if you guys are ready to stop working so hard and finally let your money work for you, go to start.moomoo.com/Jack Neal. You can also scan the QR code on screen. Again, that's start.moomoo.com/Jack Neal. Thank you to Moomoo for sponsoring the podcast, and let's get back into the episode. And sometimes, guys, like this is ultra specific, but it makes sense to partner with someone in this instance because like them having 1 million users versus having 10 million users like values the company way differently. Like it's not a 10x, it's like a 50x.
Exactly. Yeah. Like in software, like growth is exponential. It's not linear. And so like you get 2 times more growth, your multiplier for your exit is not just 2 times. You get what I'm trying to say? And so like just creating friends in every field is super important because it helps you progress and it helps them progress. Like I have friends who do e-commerce, right? And how would e-commerce apply to me? You still have to market on e-commerce. You still have to get people in the door to buy your product. Let me learn how you market. Let me see if I can apply that to my software company. You know what I'm trying to say? And so it's like, you can learn something from everyone. And I think competition definitely can get tricky in certain times. And so like, I will very happily like become friends with every single person. But like obviously sometimes people treat me as competition, and so they won't want to get close to me because then I guess it's a conflict of interest to give me sauce when they're trying to compete on a same type of model. But for example, when someone running a YouTube channel, like I'm more than happy to share all my teachings to you because I'm not competing against you. I'm competing against a growing market. Me getting views does not mean you don't get views.
What are the best niches for faceless channels in 2025?
I think there's a few. I think niches change all the time, but there's a few that are concrete that I think are super evergreen that everybody can get into and can make money on for the next like 5 years. I think number one is commentary. So what commentary pretty much entails is taking a topic, whether it be about finance, business, scams, celebrities, and creating entertaining 30 to 40 second videos, voiceovering and creating a narrative around whatever your niche is. And so this is a super, super evergreen niche because the topics always continue to like progress. There's new things that happen in these niches. There's new topics to cover. There's new things to commentate on. And so I think that's genuinely like one of the most evergreen things that is super easy to get into. And depending on what you think you have an edge on, like if I'm really good at finance, I could make a commentary finance shorts channel because I have an edge and I understand topics that people don't necessarily understand about. I was a 15-year-old kid who just consumed brain rot all day about celebrities. I had an edge on how to find really cool celebrity concepts, how to get really good narratives from them. And I understood everything about like Mr. Beast and Aisha Speed and Kai Cenat because all I did was consume these guys. And so I made commentary videos around these guys. So I think commentary is a really, really big one. I think motivational niche is super big on YouTube right now. Like motivational montages, David Goggins, motivational podcasts. Like motivation is a super big thing on YouTube Shorts. And I also think, I don't really want to say this because I don't want people to watch this back in a few years. Like the ranking niche right now, like if we're talking today, like the ranking niche is super big. Dude, like the remixing niche is super big, and that's pretty much when you slap an audio into a YouTube short that's already made audio and have like visuals on the screen behind it. And so like the remix niche, you basically remix an audio on YouTube Shorts, it's viral, and then put content on the back of it. That slapped for a while and then died after like 3 or 6 months. The big thing with YouTube Shorts is apart from the evergreen niches I mentioned, there's a lot of niches that will die, come back to life for 6 months and then die again, and then come back to life and die again. They have like these life cycles where they just keep going up and down. And like those can be appealing to like make money in these like seasons, but I prefer consistency and peace of mind over anything else. And that's just my philosophy about how I run things. Like I take big risks, like for sure, but I like just peace of mind and consistency when I make videos or when I run businesses. And so running things that I see like a 10-year horizon on, a 20-year horizon on really appeals to me. And so I just like to structure everything I do around like that way of thinking. And so when I think about YouTube niches, I think about what can people still watch in 10 years. If I make videos around celebrities, they're still going to be celebrities in 10 years. Fox is a commentary channel on news, basically. If we're thinking about it in like a YouTube Shorts term, Fox is a news commentary channel. There's always going to be news, so they're evergreen. They'll have news in 30 years. They'll have news in 100 years. Same for CNN. Same for TMZ. You know what I'm trying to say? TMZ was alive in the 2000s talking about Tobey Maguire, and now they're talking about Bryce Hall. So it's like it always evolves. So as long as you're in like an evergreen space that is always going to produce new talent that you can make videos on, that's what I would personally focus on, and that's what I would recommend to people just for peace of mind.
I'd ask you about the worst niches, but I would guess it's just anything that's not evergreen.
Yeah, like I would say the worst niches are ones that are not going to survive for a very long time. But like there's so much more bad than there is good. Like I could name 1,000 bad niches. A niche on pencils, a niche on water, a niche on like vases. Like there's 1,000 bad niches. A good niche is something that has a lot of interest already. And it just, as simple as that. If there's something that has interest, celebrities have interest, right? Sports has interest. Music has interest. Make things on that, and you're going to be chilling for the next few years.
What's interesting about most people is they often suggest to find something that's trending up and like catch it early so they'll have success. But you've kind of developed a system of just finding anything that's trending and making it better than it already is. So you're guaranteed to win.
Like just for an example, like I made a YouTube Shorts video on Drake and Ice Spice. There was like this time where Drake like flew out Ice Spice to a concert and then blocked her. I basically like made a video about how like Drake was dating Ice Spice and they broke up. Like finding trending, like what you said about like finding something trending before it catches off. If you're making a commentary channel on celebrities, that's what you do all day. Like you're finding what's trending before, I guess, it blows up and you're making videos on it. So you can replicate exactly what you talked about on an evergreen niche because you can find things that are about to blow up, but because you're making videos around celebrities all the time, you're catching these trends before they become big. And you don't need to ride that cycle. You could make like 5 videos on Drake because he's trending and then he falls off and then you just hop to the next celebrity. It's evergreen, but you're still catching the big trends that are coming up.
Yeah, I didn't really love the news niche. It was just too stressful. I like
very
the
stressful.
evergreen better because you can put more work into the video and it lives for longer.
But essentially news is evergreen though.
Yeah, I guess you just have to have systems around it.
You have to have systems. Like at one point, I had genuinely 4 people on every platform finding topics. Yeah. They would have notifications on for every major news outlet, TMZ, like Hollywood Fix, just every major news outlet they had notifications on. They followed all the big accounts on Twitter, all the big accounts on Instagram, YouTube, and we would catch things right as they would come out. That's how news outlets work as well. They have like contacts, they call people, they call managers, they catch things before they release them as stories. Like it's the same theory.
Do you remember Gondul?
Yes, bro. My goodness. I don't even want to think about this shit anymore. It's just too stressful. Like it was too stressful.
Yeah, but essentially we used to make videos about a certain creator and we had to translate from the Romanian language into English because that's where the news was the fastest. But how do you make someone watch 100% of a video? And how do you make someone watch a video twice?
Interesting. So I'll start with how to make someone watch 100% of a video. Don't give them what they want until the end. So I feel like it's a super simple theory. Obviously, you go way deeper into it, like we mentioned earlier on in the pod about like scripts and rehooks and hooking them in and then giving them context. But if we just want to really like simply paraphrase it, it's just there's a payoff to a video. The payoff is what they came here to watch. If you leave that till the end, they're going to watch the entire video if you can meet their expectations throughout. So if you give them what they want in the intro, you lead them on using context, you ask them if they think they know who it is yet, you continue a little bit, and then you give them the payoff. And so essentially, getting 100% retention on a video or making someone watch till the end is just leaving what they came for until the end. It's super simple. And then obviously, like, I feel like with what we went in on earlier with about like actually writing scripts, that's like how you really digest and go really deep into it. But very simply, like, it's analyzing your graphs, seeing where they dipped off, because where they dipped off means people did not watch till the end. So removing that section entirely is going to give you another chance the next video to keep them on for that section, right? So you just keep improving every single video until your line is flat until the end and making as many people as you physically can watch 100%.
How about twice? Yeah.
Watching videos twice on YouTube Shorts is super interesting. There's 2 ways I like to do it. Number 1 is a loop. So at the beginning of most of my videos, it actually says like 150% retention. So a lot of my YouTube Shorts, after like a few days, when I check back at the graph, it will show that like 200% of people are watching at the beginning. That's confusing. Like, how can double the amount of people be watching your video again? And it's super simple. At the end of the video, so let's say like IShowSpeed hates Mr. Beast, right? Let me just quickly use that example. At the end of the video, I would be like, so that's why IShowSpeed hates Mr. Beast. So why? And then you just say, so why? And then it loops back in. So why does IShowSpeed hate Mr. Beast? So you get what I'm trying to say? You kind of trick them into rewatching the beginning of the video. And getting someone to watch an entire video twice is not really a metric I try for. What I do try for is getting the viewers to at least stay for the first 2 seconds of a video again. Because what that means is when YouTube see like 200% retention on the first 2 seconds, that's like, holy shit, like this video is insane. But it's super simple. Like, you basically just take the beginning clip, extend it out a bit, take that piece, add it to the end. And so basically the clip just, when the video ends and starts, it looks like it's the same clip playing. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. So essentially I would go, that's interesting. So that's how you would get someone to watch a video twice?
Exactly.
And then that's interesting would be the last thing said. So that's how you get someone to watch a video twice, would be the hook of the video.
So that's
you cut
interesting.
It. Yeah.
So how do you get someone to watch a video twice? You get what I'm trying to say? And so basically just making it seem as if it's one coherent sentence and one coherent clip is super big. And so like, especially with faceless content, it's super easy to do. If you're doing it with face content, like you might move a little bit and so it might not be the exact same shot, but with faceless content, you can just extend the last clip out, re-put it at the intro. The people who are watching the intro don't really care because you're giving them the hook anyway. But at the end, they loop back for the first 3 seconds and you get that like 200% spike in the intro and that blows up your video.
I love that method. And then like if you're really good at this, you kind of try to do that with your whole script where nothing ever seems like it ends. But so you built a $30 million company before graduating high school.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I dropped that at 15, but I guess in theory.
What's the company?
It's called Creo.ai. It's a video editing software tool for short form content specifically. So if you make videos on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, you can pretty much use our video editor to create your subtitles for you, add your background footage, create your script for you even, add your images. And I believe it's like one of the best tools out there that gets the closest to creating a viral video for you. I believe AI, and it uses a lot of AI, but I personally believe, and this might sound counterproductive for owning a software company, but I believe AI cannot do 100% of the work for you, but it can do a lot of it. And so the smart people who use my tool are not going to use 100% of it and expect to go viral. They're going to use the parts that help their process, but they still have to gain the skill of how to be good. And so if I'm really good at writing a script, I can use AI to help me write a script faster and then fix it, right? If I'm really good at having subtitles or creating good subtitles, I can use AI to make me subtitles really fast so I don't have to put in the stress work of spending an hour writing titles or writing words, but then I can just tweak it after. And so like using AI to help your process is a much better way than letting AI do 100% of the work for you. And so I feel like the best people who use my software tool, who get the best results, are the ones who use the specific features that complement their skill sets to speed up their workflows.
Yeah, having a 30 million valuation at 18 is really unique, Daniel.
I think valuations are bullshit though.
Yeah. But I mean, most valuations, but you guys actually got an offer for that.
We got an offer, but I don't hold any weight to having a company worth 20, 30, 40 million dollars. I honestly don't believe that I've gotten to like even 1% of where I want to get with Creo, for example. I think Creo should be like an industry standard and I want to build to that. So like a 30 million valuation doesn't really make me fulfilled or happy or like accomplished in any way. I think it's cool, but it's also vanity because it's not in my pocket, right? So it's like...
So you're not excited about 30 mil at 18?
No, not at all.
And do you think your next company is going to be bigger?
Yeah, 100%.
Daniel, you're 18. Your company's valued at $30 million. You've made millions of dollars yourself through a bunch of different businesses. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I heard this piece of advice and I've literally been like living it for the last 2 months. And it's not my saying, but Hormozi said this and I don't know why, it just really stuck with me. It's work so hard and put so much output in that it would be unreasonable for you to not succeed.
He said that on this podcast.
There's no way he said that on this podcast.
Yeah, he said figure out what you want,
Fuck,
ignore the opinions of others, and do so much work that it would be unreasonable that you'd be unsuccessful.
Bro. Like he definitely has like a script in his brain or something.
Dude, that's been in my brain since I filmed it.
I don't think you understand. Like I've been living by that. Like I've never worked this hard in my life. Yeah, and I don't even know what other saying to say because like it's his. I'm not taking credit for it, but it's just like I've literally been like living my life around that specific like metric. Like just put so much output, it would be unreasonable for you to not succeed. Like I want the odds in my favor.
Well, since Hormozi's given that one, I think that's a great one. I think that's probably top 3 I've heard. But what's the worst piece of advice? Or maybe what's something you would tell yourself if you were 16?
Take big swings. I think a lot of people don't swing big. I think they try to build up to big swings. But I think if you just take big swings, you can get to where you want to be much faster. And I think what I'm doing recently is I'm taking very big swings. I've moved into LA with my team in my house. I'm taking big swings. I'm just trying to come at the throat of like these billion-dollar corporations. And the only way to do that is to swing as big as they're doing.
And is it just as easy to take big swings as it is to take small swings?
Yes, you just have to have the gut for it. I think anybody can take big swings.
I would say it's a little harder, but I don't think it's as hard as anyone thinks it is.
Harder in what metric?
Like you might be doing a little bit more work than before, but...
You yourself deem what is hard. Like something I'm not good at is something someone else is amazing at. And so like, it's not objectively hard. It's just subjectively hard.
Well, Daniel, this is the Jagneel podcast. This is your guest, Daniel Bitton. Daniel Bitton. Where can people find you?
Just search up Daniel Bitton on any social media platform and you'll find me.
Beautiful. Thank you, brother.
Pleasure.